Monday of the month. Okay. Hey, everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. Well, today is the second Monday of the month, which means it's time for Plant-Based Classics with Lauren Bernick of Well Elephant. She's going to be making a baked macaroni and cheese with a very special crumble topping. The recipe name keeps getting longer and longer, so I'll let her tell you about it. But who doesn't like macaroni and cheese? Especially it's been raining up where I live. I mean, the casseroles are perfect for rainy days. She's so fun and so talented, and she really demystifies it. She's just a regular person, didn't go to culinary school, and she makes plant food delicious. Please welcome Lauren.
Hello. Hi, everybody. So glad to be here.
I'm so glad to have you back because you've been away. You were on some kind of fancy vacation.
I've been gone almost since the last time I was on, almost a month ago. So my oldest daughter, my middle daughter, Allison, lives in Australia. She's in Melbourne, as they say. And so my husband and I went to stay with her and her boyfriend. We stayed with them a little bit. We got an Airbnb. And then my oldest daughter and her husband, Jane and Michael, came and stayed a little bit. So everybody was there except our youngest, who was home with the dogs. But we had a great time. We were in Melbourne for like almost 3 weeks. And then my husband and I just went to Hawaii on the way back to break up the trip for like 6 days and stayed right on the beach. It was amazing. So it was good.
How did your daughter end up in Australia, and what did she do there?
It started off, she followed a boy there. She was in college at the time, and she met him in Austin, where we live. And she ended up doing a study abroad there, and then they broke up, and she did other study abroads. This kid finds a way to travel. She did a master's in law in Utrecht, which is right outside Amsterdam. And this boy, Matt, followed her to Amsterdam, and now she has a master's in law, and she just got her visa. So she's hopefully, fingers crossed, just applied for this really great job, and I'll let you know next time if she gets it. But she's a smarty pants, and she's just a cool person, and she just loves to travel and just finds a way to do it. So she's something. Yeah.
So we'd like to hear how you stay plant-based in traveling to Australia for a month.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, this was harder than usual because I was, one, gone for so long, and two, out of the country. So it limited what I could bring with me, because normally I bring a lot of stuff and, hopefully cook. I was able to cook at her apartment, and also her boyfriend's a really good cook. The banh mi sandwiches that I made several shows back were inspired by Matt, her boyfriend. So he knows how to cook for me now because he came and stayed here for the summer, and I cooked there. But to be honest, I ended up eating a lot of steamed vegetables and brown rice at restaurants. First of all, let me say, Melbourne is the place to be if you are a vegan. Every other restaurant on the block is vegan. Like she lives in Fitzroy. Did you ever see that show Offspring?
No.
On Netflix. It's an older show, but for anybody who's seen that show Offspring, it's filmed in Fitzroy, the neighborhood where my daughter lives. It's just this cool neighborhood, very walkable. It would remind you of like Brooklyn. But I'm not kidding, every place, if they're not vegan, has many vegan options on the menu. I bought vegan boots there. I mean, it's like the vegan capital of the world. It's great. But it's not oil-free. But there were several places where, I'd start going regularly, and they'd make me at least steamed vegetables, brown rice. One place made me tahini. One place made me a carrot dog. I mean, I found, good stuff to eat, and it was not horrible. But again, it's hard being oil-free. But I managed. I ate a lot of salads. And
It really is. It's not hard getting vegan food, but restaurants really don't understand it. They would save so much money, and cleanup would be so much easier if they would just do it, whether they understand it or not.
I know. And then Hawaii, let me say, shame on you, Hawaii. You are not good at vegan. So I was not
really.
Impressed.
I would. Yes. I would think it was.
I know it's not. They, a few places, like I stayed at a really nice hotel and it had a Beyond Burger on the menu. And, I'm not going to eat that. And then it had a terrible salad that I could eat with no dressing. So I made a vegan friend on the beach and she and I went out and we found vegan food around the hotel and figured it out. But anyway, Hawaii is really not vegan friendly. They love their meat. So you got to get a little more on board, Hawaii. But anyway, it was a phenomenal trip. And I was never so happy to get back to my kitchen and be able to cook for myself because, there's a difference between sticking to the program and just eating, salads and steamed vegetables, or being able to like create really good, yummy foods like I'm used to eating. So
absolutely. Hawaii, I think their national food is Spam, actually.
I think you're right. And they love pork and they just love meat. It's just, it was tough. And then even one day I was like, okay, this hotel where I'm staying, they advertised that they had a vegan afternoon tea. And I knew in my mind, I really wasn't going to be able to eat anything, but I'm like, let me order it. It's fancy. Maybe I'll have a few bites and, see what's up. Well, it was that same disgusting salad from the hotel with, no oil, no dressing. So I ate some of that. And then it made like this beautiful, it looked really pretty because, the afternoon tea has like the stacks of the desserts. It usually has sandwiches and so forth. The middle tray was like a taro root thing with avocado on top, but it was so fried. Like my arteries were closing up just looking at it. I couldn't eat it. And I ate a bite of a brownie. And so I was like, I don't know why I just wasted all this money. But anyway, at least they tried. They had something on the menu vegan. So that was good, at least.
Nice. Yeah. So tell me about the topping, because I know you had some problems with it. I saw a post, but I think you worked it out.
I worked it out. In my mind, I was like, oh, well, so I said in one of my posts, like, if you had a Mima or a Mimi, you probably ate like, mac and cheese with that. It's usually like a bread, like whatever, bread top crumbling thing on it. My friend told me her grandma made it, or her mother-in-law made it with Ritz crackers and butter. And so that's why it was so good, because I remember eating it. But in my mind, I was like, I'm going to make it with barbecue potato chips crumbled up on top.
That sounds amazing, actually.
It does, right? And I kept making it. I can't tell you, everybody I know now has macaroni and cheese with some iteration of potato chips on top. You really cannot make barbecue chips without salt and sugar, because that's really what it is. I made it with miso. I had Bragg's liquid amino. I had date this and that. Ugh, it was fine. Actually, I shouldn't say ugh, because it was good. It was fine. But I don't want to give you something that's good or fine. I want you to eat it and be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I love this and I can't stop eating it. So I finally just gave up on that because, I'm not going to use a bunch of sugar and salt. If you want to do it that way, have at it. But then I was like, what else would be good on top? And so I finally figured out like buffalo cauliflower. So I'm going to do a riced buffalo cauliflower crunchy crumble on top of the macaroni and cheese. And it's delicious.
Yum.
Yes. So you want me to get started?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm really sorry, everybody. My second camera is not working today. I'll get that settled with IT and get back to you next time. But okay. So I already pre-riced my cauliflower. You can obviously buy it in a bag. You don't have to do it yourself, but I had a big old cauliflower in the fridge, and I was like, I'll just do it myself in my little mini chopper. So you're just going to do 1.5 cups of riced cauliflower and then 1/2 cup of cornmeal. This is going to be like the breading, the cornmeal, 1/2 cup. And I know I've said this before, but anytime you're using cornmeal, any kind of corn product, you want to make sure it's organic or it's going to be genetically modified. And the reason you want to care about that is because a genetically modified product is made just to withstand being sprayed with a ton of herbicides. So you don't want that. Okay, and then you need 1 tablespoon of any kind of like whole grain flour. I'm using millet just because it's a good kind of flour. Generally, this has a little bit of sweetness to it, and it's generally used for baking, but I've tried it out and it's good. You can't taste the sweetness, and it's a good flour. 1 tablespoon of that, and then a half a cup of plant milk. Let's see, is that a half cup?
I love millet. I love millet. It's a good
I
one.
know. Well, that's why I used it. I thought of you. I knew you would approve. Yeah, it is good. I use it for a lot of things too. Even though it does, do you find it has a little bit of a sweetness to it?
It's just good, and it's
It is
gluten-free,
good.
so anybody that has to be gluten-free can eat it, and it makes a great whole grain too.
Exactly.
And it
And you're
doesn't
just
get mushy like quinoa. Quinoa can be really
right.
mushy.
Yeah. So that was it. That's all I'm going to do. And this, I love this versus like making buffalo cauliflower like wings, because you have to bread each piece individually. And if you've ever seen me before, I'm very short on patience. I don't love anything too complicated. So you get to just dump everything into the batter, dump the rice cauliflower into the batter. And I'm making the crumble first so that it's ready when the macaroni and cheese is ready. Okay, so now I'm just mixing it all up, mixing. It smells like farts. That's how you know it's good for you. I love cauliflower.
There was an episode of I Love Lucy. I don't know if you remember, with Charles Boyer. He talked about you have to talk like cauliflower's cooking. You're smelling cooked cauliflower. That's funny.
Oh my God, I don't remember that. And I feel like I've seen every single one like a million times.
That's the Charles Boyer one. Yeah.
Charles Boyer. Okay, so that's all mixed up. My water's boiling. I already set my water to boil. So I'm going to put my macaroni in. Let me just talk to you first about that. So I normally like a lentil pasta. I get this at Trader Joe's, red lentil pasta. And I also get brown rice pasta at Trader Joe's. Today I'm going to use this one. It's corn, brown rice, and quinoa. It is organic because it has corn product in it. And I'm using this because it's 8 ounces. This is 16 ounces. This is 12 ounces. And I'm going for 8 to 10 ounces of pasta because I want it to be really cheesy. So I'm going to use a little less pasta. It's boiling. I'm going to put that in there. Let me give it a stir. Let me see how long this has to cook. I need to pull out my old lady glasses. Hang on. 6 to 9 minutes. So let me put my timer on for like 6 minutes.
Don't you just ask Alexa? I always just tell her to do it.
I don't have Alexa. I got an Instant Pot though.
Well, boy, if it took you this long to get an Instant Pot, it's going to be years till you get Alexa.
My husband has it in his office. I don't like it. I don't know why. I think it's creepy.
Oh my God, I love her. She helps me so much. She tells me the weather. She tells me when to leave,
Leave. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I know. I don't know why I'm weird about it, but I am. Okay, so my pasta's going for 6 minutes. This is ready. I sworn I did this already. Okay, I got my oven heated to 425. And now I'm just going to bake this. Oh no, I still don't have my Silpats. Got my parchment paper, my baking sheet. And then I'm just going to put this. I want to just make sure I get it spread out really thinly so everything cooks. So this is just a cup and a half of cauliflower. It makes a ton. You really won't even need this much, honestly, I don't think. Okay, we're just going to spread it out real thin so it all gets a chance to cook. Yeah, this is much easier than dipping each piece. Oh my God, I hate that. It just makes me crazy.
Yeah, that's why I always do everything in casserole. Even like when I do enchiladas, I always do everything that kind of style. It's just easier.
It is. Oh my God, I just don't have the patience. And like, I mean, I do it because, sometimes you want something like that, but oh no, I'm not a patient person. So you can see I've spread it out thin. I'm just going to put it in for 10 minutes. I have to set this timer. 10. Okay. Got all the timers going. No Alexa. All right. So that's going. And now I'm just going to do the macaroni part. So that's boiling. Let me give it another stir.
Why does the Yankee Doodle song say stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni? I never understood that.
I don't know. I have no idea.
If anybody knows, type it in the chat and maybe I'll have a prize for you, but only if you know it. Like I could Google it too, but I always wondered about songs like that,
Called it macaroni. I have no idea.
Children's songs were so scary, like Three Blind Mice See How They Run, and she's coming around with cutting off their tail with a knife.
Yes.
I mean, those songs
terrifying.
Were terrifying when you're children.
Ring Around the Rosy Pocket Full of Posy, wasn't that about the plague?
I don't know. I mean, they're
all
so scary as children.
And then also like the fairy tales were all terrifying. What about Rumpelstiltskin? Like, that's terrifying. He's going to take your baby and yeah, that's some crazy stuff. Okay. So I originally got the idea for this sauce from one of my favorites, Isa Chandra Moskowitz, but hers, like, again, it was like a cup of cashews. I'm not going to eat a cup of cashews. That's
I just want to know, who are these people that can eat all this rich food and be happy with their health and weight? I mean, if you exist, God bless you. I just don't get it.
I mean, I would never make something with a cup of cashews in it. Well, that's not true. I have made something with a cup of cashews, but I'm not eating all of it. Like, it's, if company comes over or something like that. But I don't think I could. I don't know. I don't know how they keep their weight where they want it, or, maybe they just don't have heart disease in their life. But anyway, that's not me. So anyway, I changed it up, but I got the original idea from her. It calls for a cup of vegetable broth, and then I brought it down to a quarter cup of cashews, and then filled the rest in with a can of garbanzo beans. I already rinsed and drained those and then put them back in the can for some reason. Don't know why. Gonna do the juice of half a lemon. This is my scientific method. Catch the little seeds in your hand. I don't like to
measure either,
Yeah, I know.
Then you gotta clean the measuring cup,
That's right. Exactly. Who wants to do that? Plus, it kind of shines your ring a little when you get the lemon juice through it. Quarter cup of nutritional yeast, and then the spices. I have a little turmeric in here, and of course pepper. You want to add pepper; it makes it more bioavailable. Black pepper. I have a half tablespoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and then you could do salt and pepper if you want, or salt because you already have pepper in there. Okay, did I get everything? I'm pretty famous for leaving things out. Cashews, garbanzo beans, nutritional yeast. Yep, I have everything. Okay. I have to blend this for a second.
You ever leave something out and then cook it, and then you're like, oh boy.
Oh, yeah, you know me. Of course I do. Of course. So I always try to double check my things. All right, excuse me for 1 second while I blend.
While she's blending, I'll tell you who's on the show the week. If you're subscribed to my newsletter, which we send out either every Saturday or Sunday, we tell you, I hope you'll consider subscribing at Chef AJ Live. We give you a free Instant Pot cookbook when you subscribe. And tomorrow we have 2 shows. Our regular programming at 11 is Lissa and Nate, Feeling Great with Lissa and Nate. They just got back from a week-long trip and are going to show you how to eat healthfully on the road and even stay raw. And then we have a bonus show at 2 p.m. John Badass Vegan, maybe his name is Lewis, but he's known by Badass Vegan, has a brand new book coming out. He's going to be talking about that. Wednesday is Dr. Stefan Esser in his regular spot, and he is going to be talking about orthopedics and nutrition. Reeves and Dylan are Thursday, Well Your World. They're going to be doing St. Patrick's Day recipes like a colcannon soup and a shamrock shake. Friday is our Q&A with Dr. Ron Weiss. You've got to get those questions in when it's a medical doctor, and a bonus show with Kathy Hester at 2 p.m. We are going to unequivocally tell you the best vegan ice cream machine. There is no contest with this one. There's another new one that I got for my birthday from Charles. Saturday, we're going to talk about the cure for cancer, and that's with Dr. Nandita Shah. And there's also going to be a couple of people that have survived cancer, and they're going to share their recipes. And then Sunday, we have Dr. Columbus Batiste, and he usually has a guest. And Sunday is Elaine Lalane's 97th birthday, and she is coming back on the show. So there you have it. Back to you, Lauren.
Oh my gosh, is that Elaine Lalane, Jack Lalane's?
Yeah, she's great. She was on the show a couple of years ago when she was 95, and I called her. I said, "Can you come back?" You know, it's part of it. I really believe, you know, everybody says, "Oh, you don't need to exercise. You don't need to exercise," and it's true. You don't, to lose weight. But man, the more I see people that are like septuagenarians, octogenarians, you know, 70s, 80s, 90s, the ones that are healthy and not hunched over. They may not spin an hour a day like me, but they're moving, man. Like they're gardening, they're walking up and down steps. So many people just won't move their body.
Yeah, it just makes you feel so much better. Oh my God. Well, I'm going to watch that. And wait, that reminds me of something. But before I lose my train of thought, while you were talking, I put in half a bag of broccoli because my timer went off. The macaroni was 1 minute away from being ready. So I put in half a bag of frozen broccoli just because I like to put something green in everything. And now I'm just going to dump it out. I am not going to rinse it.
Bill says after eating the chicken, Yankee Doodle was left with a feather. But why called it macaroni? I don't get these. Sorry. Macaroni referred to a fashionable person back in the day, says Michelle. Not pasta. Oh, I didn't know that. See, we didn't have
macaroni.
We didn't have Google. Gloria says, where did you get the box of pasta from? You said Trader Joe's, right?
This one I got, I think, either at Whole Foods or HEB. We have HEB in Texas.
Nice.
This one's not from Trader Joe's.
Anne thinks your glasses look groovy. And Terry wants to know, have you used your Instant Pot yet?
Yes, I used it. I've only used it once. I just got it and I bought it from like a neighborhood group. I saw it was on sale and it was like $49. And I'm like, you know what? And it's like a 6-quart one. I said, I am going to get it because if I like it, then I can always upgrade to a fancier one. I don't even know. But I made stupidly in it brown rice, which I have a badass rice cooker. So I probably should have made something else first. I think tomorrow I'm going to make beans in it. But I haven't made like a whole meal in it yet. I don't know. I guess that's where the magic comes in, right? When you use it to make the whole meal.
I don't know. I just use it mostly for soup. You know, I mean, soups and stews and chilies. That's my favorite thing.
Okay. And yeah, I saw it had the saute thing on it. So you could saute your stuff and then do your chili in it. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. So does it cook it that much faster? I mean, chili cooks pretty fast.
Yeah, but I don't know if you have a dog, but like I like to just set it, forget it, take my dog out for a walk, you know?
Yes. My dog is being walked as we speak, or she would be in here barking. Andy's walking the dog. But she likes to sit in here while I cook too and watch me and then, wait for anything to drop on the floor. But, if anybody walks by, then she'll just start barking at them. So Miss Daisy had to go on her walk. I know what I was going to say about Elaine Lalane. Have you read Lessons in Chemistry yet?
No, did she write that?
No, she didn't write it. It's like set in the 50s and 60s. And it's really good. If anybody's read it, like, say in the chat. But it just references Jack LaLanne and people, exercising. But it's about sexism. And this woman's like a brilliant chemist. And she can, there's just so much sexism. She can't get any traction there. She ends up with a cooking show. And so you'll love it. But it's such a great book. But it does mention Jack LaLanne in there, so maybe think of that.
Is it on Audible? I'm such an Audible.
I think so. I read it on the plane. I read it in like 2 days. It was so good. I couldn't put it down. It's very thought provoking, but you'll love it because she ends up with a cooking show, and her little tagline at the end is, "Children, set the table. Your mother needs a moment."
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's very good. Oh, that's my kitchen timer. I was like, what is that? Okay, let's see. So that is my topping. Let's see if it's ready. I'm going to give it a little stir. So there's the topping. It's good. I'm going to cook it for a few more minutes. Okay. But I'm going to give it a little stir so everything gets, it's starting to brown and smell good. Let me taste it. Oh, it tastes good. Okay. Just want to give it a little stir, and then I'm going to thin it out again. Make sure it all gets cooked. Ooh.
What season was it in Australia when you were there? Isn't it exactly opposite of? And
Yes.
I'm so bad at science.
So
I
weird.
can't understand how it can be a completely different season.
Yes, it was summer. Summer almost, I guess, turning to fall, like we're turning to spring almost. So it was the end of the summer, and it was really weird. It's not very, some days in Melbourne were really hot. And you walk, it's a walking city, or you ride public transportation. So some days were so hot, I was just sweating my butt off. And some days I was freezing and bundled up and layered. And I was like, what? How is this summer? But it's just such a cool place. Oh, and I'll tell you something really cool. Wait, let me get this back in the oven. Do you know, I'm giving a shout out. I hope he watches. Clark Yap.
Does that name sound familiar to me?
Said he's seen me on your show. I posted that I was gone, and he's just one of my followers and one of your followers, and he is the loveliest person. And he said, I used to live in Melbourne, and let me give you some tips about where to go eat. And he did, and it was amazing. It was very helpful. And he said, if you happen to go down the Great Ocean Road, I'm going to put this back in the oven, the topping, for 6 minutes, I believe. Let me see. Yep, 6 minutes. Let me set my timer. Alexa, set my timer. Okay, I'm Alexa. So Clark said, if you go down Great Ocean Road, which is basically like Pacific Coast Highway, it's the road that goes along the beautiful beaches. And he said, go stop in Anglesey, which is this little town, and go eat at this place called Diggers. He's like, that's her whole restaurant is plant-based, oil-free. I'm like, no way, we're going tomorrow. So we stopped there. Loveliest lady, I forget her name right now. It was 2:30 in the afternoon. They close at 3. I walk in, we're 5 people, and she's like, oh my God, I'm sorry, we're gonna close because we've been so just slow for the last hour or so. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I didn't say anything like I eat this way too. I just said, look, we're sorry. We didn't know what time you closed. Somebody recommended I come here. And I was like, can you just make us the easiest thing? It can be your choice. We'll all 5 eat it. I'll pay. We'll go outside. We can leave, whatever. I'll just make it easy on you. She's like, okay. So she made us these BLTs with like some baked French fries and this beautiful salad. It was all oil free, all vegan. I was losing my mind. It was my best meal that I had there. And then after we ate, she's like, thank you for being so understanding. And I told her, that this is what I do as well. And that I just love that she's spreading the health. And it turns out her parents had, I think one had diabetes and one had maybe autoimmune disease. And she looked into it and she cured them both by cooking this way. And then now has this restaurant with amazing food. So if anybody's going down Great Ocean Road, go to Anglesey and go to Digger's Kitchen. It was phenomenal.
Wow.
So, and thanks to Clark Yap, one of our great people who watches
Thank you,
us.
Clark. That's so cool.
I know. Yeah, and I think he's doing some
seen
pastry
his name, maybe either posting in the chat or on. Yeah. He's really sweet. He doesn't live in Melbourne. He lives in Brisbane now. So that is that. Okay. So my macaroni's ready. My macaroni, not meaning fancy man. My sauce is ready. Okay, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to put your sauce in the pan, the pot, before you put your macaroni in, because I want you to stop when you have a good sauce to macaroni ratio. You want it to be really saucy. Saucy, baby. I think with just the 8-ounce pasta like I did, it's going to be fine. I won't have to really worry. But I did put a bunch of broccoli in there. Yep.
But if you do you're not exactly sure how much sauce you have in there, this is the way to do it. Okay. And I have some broccoli in there. You can see. Normally I would put more, but I don't want it to look all green. I want it to be pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to put it in here. I'm going to stir it, make sure got a good sauce can take a little more. Just want it to be really saucy. You don't want it to get dried out because you're going to put it in the oven for a few minutes. Okay, I'll put a little more broccoli in there and then save the rest for Miss Daisy Mae Clampett, the dog. When she gets home, she loves pasta and broccoli. She pretty much loves everything. She's not real picky. Okay, so now I'm gonna just transfer it to an 8x8 Pyrex dish.
Anne says you have the best hair. Yep. Thank you, Anne. That's how she got a spot on the show. We auditioned everyone based on their hair. No, just kidding. And what was the name of the oil-free restaurant in Australia that you mentioned?
It's called Diggers, Diggers.
Diggers, yes.
Diggers in Anglesey,
right,
off Great Ocean Road.
Couple of questions. Kathy says, what would you recommend for the topping instead of hot sauce if a person couldn't do spicy? And Linda says, did you use any nutritional yeast?
Yes. In the sauce, I used a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, and the recipe will be in the show notes. I thought about this in advance because I was like, I bet some people are going to say I don't like spicy or I can't eat spicy. You just need to think about what would I like with macaroni and cheese. First of all, you could just do that topping by itself. Just put some spices on it, like, garlic powder, onion powder, a little paprika, and just do the topping just like that. It would taste fantastic. You could do a little barbecue sauce. You could do, this might sound crazy, but my mom used to put ketchup in my macaroni and cheese when I was a kid, a little squirt of it, and I liked it. Maybe you could mix a little ketchup in the top of that breading. Really anything you want, but honestly, I think it would be good just by itself. It would be kind of like breadcrumbs. So let's think, what else? Does anybody else have suggestions out there? Some people are smarter than me.
Let's see. I don't see any questions. Clark is watching. Hello, Clark.
Hi, Clark.
He says in Australia, you can have 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's like Texas. Austin's like that as well. But yeah, but that was such a great suggestion. And it was so nice meeting somebody who eats the way I eat and reversed diseases and the whole 9 yards. Okay, I'm going to let this cook like 2 more minutes. And that's the other thing, you know, I'm giving you times, but everybody's oven is different. So you just want it a little brown. It's you want it to be a little bit crispy, and it's going to cook some more. So you don't have to overcook it, but make sure you get it to where it's going to give you a little crunch, because you're going for like texture almost as much as taste in this situation. Okay, so now you can see it's nice and cheesy. I'll hold it up so you can see it. I don't know what happened to my second camera. Ever since I came back from Australia, I feel like my all my apps and all my things don't know where I am anymore. Okay, so it's all cheesy, it's all yummy.
How long was the flight?
Well, we broke it up both ways. I want to say it's like 16 hours, but we went to, we had free tickets on Southwest. Southwest flies direct to Hawaii or to Oahu. So we spent the night there, 1 night on the way there, and then 6 nights on the way back. But from Hawaii to Melbourne was 10 hours. That was a little unpleasant, but it's not the worst thing in the world. You know, I just downloaded a bunch of movies and read a bunch and passed the time.
That's hard to sit for that long, isn't it? Because they don't really encourage you to get up and be walking around on planes.
No, they don't. But I did a few laps and made a few laps around the plane because, I cannot sit that long. Okay, I made some crumble in advance. I'm going to use this. I'm going to show you how to do it when it comes out, but this way we could get this going in the oven. Ooh, it looks so pretty. And this is the color I was going for too. Cooking is like all the senses, the flavor, the texture, the color, it's everything. And so you want all of that. Alexa, stop.
Oh, if you have a nut allergy, can you leave out the cashews or sub with white beans or more garbanzo beans or sunflower seeds?
Yeah, any of the above, I would say. As a matter of fact, I don't like white beans in recipes. That's why I use the garbanzo beans. They always leave me just feeling like it's a tiny bit chalky, maybe. That's why I use the garbanzo beans instead of white beans. The garbanzo beans also have a tiny bit of fat in them. And I don't know, it just is a little fattier and I think it's better. But you could just use
Melissa just read Lessons in Chemistry too. How did you guys know all about that book? Where does everybody hearing about this?
It's my book club book and I'm in this fabulous book club. And our rule is, I shouldn't probably be saying this on your show. Our rule is you don't have to read the book, but you do have to bring a bottle of wine. They're not plant-based women. These are my friends forever.
My God.
And we don't really discuss the book as much as we usually do. We're just all a bunch of women who love to be together and we all love to read. And it's really nice to have other people pick out your books for you because sometimes you're getting books that you didn't hear of or, whatever the situation is. And also genres I wouldn't normally pick.
So this is fiction then.
It's totally fiction.
I never read fiction. I don't know why. I guess it's so weird. I probably should, huh?
Well, what do you read?
Nonfiction. I love
but
science.
Like what? Biographies?
I love scientific books and self-help books and spiritual books. Mm-hmm. I really, even in high school when we had to read books, I would just do the Cliff Notes. I don't know why I don't like fiction.
That's funny. And I always have like I call it a stack of books. It's not, and a lot of times it's on my Kindle, but I used to have a stack of books by my bed, but now I have a stack of books on my Kindle. And I always have a variety too, but I always have a fiction book. And I think you'll like this book, Chef AJ. Give it a try.
I guess because when I have fiction, I like to usually watch it, like I figure out, but that, because they don't make movies out of nonfiction books.
Right. And you're
They
right.
do make them out of fiction.
Yes, that's true. And it'll probably be on Netflix before you know it, because it's such a good story. Okay, so I'm going to pop this in the oven. Look how good that looks. And I'm just going to put it in for 5 minutes. It's on 425, just to let it all kind of heat up and then crisp up again. Set my timer for 5 minutes. So this is what the other step was. So so we're backing up, even though I just put it on there. Let's see. This is what just came out of the oven.
Gorgeous.
My version of before we put the hot sauce on. Again, I'm just going to dump it into the hot sauce. So it's like a 1/3 cup. You could do Frank's Red Hot, or I did Cholula's. So just a 1/3 cup, and we're just going to put it all. It's a little crispy. I don't know if you can kind of see the edges are a little brown. Just dump it in there. And then let's see. I just made up this recipe, so I don't know it by heart yet. Did I put it back in the oven? Stir it, coat in hot sauce. No, I didn't recook it after I coated it in hot sauce. We're just, from this point, just going to stir it up, and then I would just like put it on the macaroni and cheese like we just did. Whoops, my dog is not here to help me. Again, so easy. Just take the easy way out.
Who's the author of the book, the chemistry book?
Oh, Lessons in Chemistry. I don't
I'll
know.
Look it up. I will look it up for you right now.
You guys are going to like this book. I mean, there's parts of it that are kind of it's a slow read in a way, even though
Bonnie Garmus.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Let's see if it's on Audible. No, I'm not seeing it on Audible right now.
Is it a new book? I think it's
audio book. Yep, it is on Audible. It's a novel. Cute cover. New York Times bestseller. A must listen. Elizabeth Zadi, a formidable, unapologetic, and inspiring scientist in 1960s California, whose career takes a detour when she becomes the unlikely star of actually, this does sound really good, of a beloved TV show. In this novel that is irresistible, satisfying, and full of fuel, it reminds you that change takes time, and always requires heat. I gotta say, it does sound adorable. Have they made a movie out of it?
I think it's a new book, because I hadn't heard of it. I had I get a lot of my books on Kindle at the library, and I had to wait quite a while.
It came out about a year ago, April 2022.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really high in Audible, number 5 in Audible. That's really
good.
I've got
there you
credits.
go.
You know what? Maybe I'll do it. Let's
do it.
Let's just see how long it is. I never do anything for fun. That's the thing. I'm always working. I gotta start doing more fun things,
What is wrong with you?
You and me are the opposite. I'm just one of these driven people. But I think, you know what? You got an Instant Pot. That was out of your comfort zone. Listening to a fiction book is out of mine. I'm going to do it for you, Lauren.
Yay. And I got the Instant Pot for you. Yay. Yeah. Look at us. We're good.
And hopefully you'll fall in love with Instant Pot, and I'll fall in love with fiction. It's not that I don't like it. I just feel like it's a frivolous waste of time. But I am going to, I know, it's like I always feel like if I'm not working, I'm not doing anything,
To me, that sounds like, why are you punishing? Like, are you punishing yourself? Are you beating yourself up?
It's genetic. Anyway, but I will learn to do that. That does sound really delightful. Does anyone have a barbecue potato chip recipe? Asks Terry. So kind of, Terry, if you go to my Amazon store, I have this tool called the Mastrad, where you make potato chips in the microwave. And really all you have to do is put on some seasoning. And Kathy Hester has a barbecue potato chip seasoning. So that's how I would do it.
Okay, that is good to know. I wonder what's in it, because you know, I did it with all dry seasonings at
Yeah.
first, and it was, you know what? Don't get me wrong, it was good. But like I said, it was lacking in, it's been 8 years since I've eaten a barbecue potato chip, but I still remember it had a lot of salt and it had a lot of sugar, and it's hard to get that mouth feel, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Kathy Hester has those good seasonings.
I always told her she should just start selling them.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and so there's the crumble topping all ready to go on, even though we cheated. We just put it on already. There's my timer. So our macaroni is ready. Let's see what it looks like, kids. Oh my God. It's gorgeous. Look.
It really is. Yummy. Hey, what, did you ever make a tuna casserole, but obviously without the fish?
No.
I used to love tuna casserole. I've been vegan 46 years, so love it was a relative term. It was a long time ago. What I loved about it was the creaminess and the crunchy topping. We used, they still make them. People use them at Thanksgiving to make green bean casserole. You know, look, those crunchy onion things.
Yeah.
That's what I really liked about it was the cream and the crunch. It wasn't that I like to eat fish or anything like that. But casseroles are the best, aren't they?
Yeah. They're good. They just have everything in it. And this is creamy and crunchy. And so when this comes out, oh yeah, it's nice and crunchy now, the topping. You need to let it sit for like 10 minutes and just let the thing harden. But let's see what it looks like. Let me cheat and see what it looks like inside. Oh yeah, it's creamy. This is perfect. Yum. And I'm going to cook those other crumbles, and then we're going to put them on like a salad or something. Like a buffalo cauliflower salad. I'm going to make that later with those crumbles.
Melissa, who's been on the show several times, who's fabulous, says, I used to not allow myself the luxury of reading fiction. That's why I joined a book club. So I have to read. It's a great idea. Maybe I could start a book club up here. I got so many vegan friends, and we can have a vegan book club. And she has made her book club vegan because of her being vegan. People are saying they don't blow up in the microwave because it comes with a very thin mandolin slicer. So, I've never had a potato chip. I would assume if you cooked it too long, it would burn, but no, they work great. And people are saying barbecue potato chips have sugar. Excuse me. That's true. Kathy Hester's seasoning, I can't remember if it has sugar, but I was able to do it with, if it did, with either date sugar or a date or something. But it's been a while since I made it. It was very good, you know?
Oh, I would like, I need to get that recipe because I do like barbecue potato chips. And I did buy a mandolin. I bought a mandolin slicer too. I'm really coming up in the world.
Please make sure you use a glove because it freaks me out when I see people don't use a glove like they do at True North. I don't know. It's like not wearing a seatbelt. Yeah, maybe, you'll be fine until you get in an accident, Right.
I did get a glove. Got the whole thing because I'm a klutz. I know myself. It's good to know yourself. Yeah. And like I was saying, so start a book club. But again, we're really opposite because my book club, we don't, if we love the book, we talk about it this much. Did you like the book? Yeah, I loved the book. That's about as much as we ever talk about something, unless it's like off the charts where I swear we talk about it for 5 minutes. Wow. But it's mostly, just to be together and to have
and drink wine
and drink wine and have people pick out your book. So yeah.
That is so funny.
It's funny. You need to take it easy, Chef AJ.
I know.
Enjoy life. What's the problem?
I just like working. I don't know. I mean, because what I'm doing is fun. This is, you're going to taste it? Oh, I can't wait.
God, so good. That really is good. I think, Oh. And it's not really spicy, although I like spice.
You could make it not spicy.
But, with all the cheesiness, and there's just a little bit of crumble on top, it's not too spicy at all. It's not like overwhelming. It just gives it a nice little flavor and a nice little texture. Yeah, this came out good. Very pleased.
Wow. Well, let's see. Next month, you're coming on, I believe, before Easter and Passover. Are we going to look forward to any kind of recipes?
Oh, I was thinking I've been working on Well, I could change it now. I've been working, you had asked me about a French onion soup, and I've been kind of working on that. I was thinking about French onion soups and then doing little Caesar salad cups on the side. But I don't know. You want me to make matzo ball soup?
No, I mean, do you guys put in the chat, what would you like? Because you are coming on before both holidays. I don't really know what people eat at Easter because I don't celebrate. I mean, what, Easter eggs, ham, ugh. But what about, I mean, there's matzo ball soup. What else do you eat at Passover? There's charosas, there's gefilte.
Oh, I do make good harosas. Okay, maybe I should make that because I do. Maybe I could just make that as an aside and still make, even though it won't really go with the other thing I'm making. But I do make
maybe a vegan Passover Seder, or Lauren will be here every month. So don't worry, she'll get to the French onion soup, Gina, hopefully, I promise. Matzo balls would be good. What else is simmis? Do you ever make simmis?
No, my mom made simmis though, but it always looks so gross. It's
that
like that's the stewed fruit, right?
Well, no, simmis usually had carrots and parsnips and potatoes and sweet potatoes. What made it not vegan were the big chunks of meat, but simmis actually means, translated from Yiddish, means a big deal because it was a big deal to make. And so simmis is delicious. I probably Nava Atlas or Zell Allen at Veg Paradise have simmis recipes. Simmis is really delicious.
Yeah, she did make that. My mom made that too. What I'm thinking of the stewed fruit compote, I guess that was the other thing.
Yeah. You know,
that's different.
So, or something with matzah. I mean, have you ever heard of matzah brie? You know, there's a lot of.
Oh my God, I love matzah brie.
It's your show. You can make whatever you want, but I'm just saying there are some holidays coming up, and then you'll be on in May. You'll probably be on right before Mother's Day. So you got a good spot. Second Monday.
I do. It's a good spot. I have the best spot.
It's a great spot.
And
yeah. Well, thanks. I am going to get that book. I promise you, I am.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun.
We'll have our book club next meeting.
Yeah, maybe I can Skype in or Zoom into your book club and actually tell them what the book is about.
That's hilarious.
Reading the book is not a prerequisite in your book club.
Not. No, it's not. But everybody does read the book, Chef AJ. We're not lazy. We do like to read.
I am just kidding you now. One of the librarians loves matzah brie. I remember that my mom used to make raspberry jam and you know,
I do make good matzah brie.
It'd be cool if somebody could make a gluten-free matzah, you know?
Don't they have one?
Maybe they have one now. I haven't. It's been so long. I don't know. I
think they do. You know, the Jews have all kinds of gut problems. They have the
absolutely, you know, and but gefilte fish could be cool. Anyway, you do what you want. Whatever you make is going to be fun and it's going to be delicious.
Okay.
But harosas sounds great. And I mean, in a way, harosas is just like chunky Jewish applesauce when you think.
Oh, it's so good. I think I am going to make my harosas, maybe the matzah brie too, because it's so good. Matzah brie is just like French toast for people who don't know, but made with the matzah.
Oh, Maxine wants matzo balls. Well, maybe it can be a matzah show, you know?
A matzah show.
Instead of a matcha show, we'll have a
matzah show. You won't go to the bathroom for a month, but no.
That's great. Well, you are just delightful. I really love watching your simple but delicious recipes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love being here.
Yeah, no, you're great. And thank you so much. And thanks for the work you do with PBS and at PBNSG. I'm going to be on that sometime this year. Maybe you'll be the one interviewing me.
I'm not. I tried to sign up for it and it was on a date. I couldn't do it. But if anybody is a PBNSG member, I'm hosting the heart disease support group tonight. So
nice. Well, who's going to interview me? Do I know that?
I'll have to look at the schedule and let you know. I don't know.
Change my date.
I think it's Sid. I know. I think it's Sid though. You know Sid Notter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Sid.
She was in the Sid CYD. She was in the bundle. I think it's her. I don't know why I didn't get that date. I think I had something
change it so that you can interview me. It'll be
okay. I would love that.
Just tell them tell them we're a team, baby.
We're a team.
Yeah.
We are a team. Aww.
All right. Well, thank you so much. All right.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Recipe. Guys, it's in the show notes. Show notes is below the video. So if you're not watching on YouTube, we stream the show also on Facebook and Twitter, but we prefer you watching on YouTube because that's where all the active Zoomunity chat is and the information. It's right below the video. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, giving it a thumbs up, and do come back tomorrow for Feeling Great with Lissa and Nate. She's going to show us a really cool thing that's called a food. It's not a dehydrator. What's that? What's it called? It's the other thing, more expensive, but it's huge. And guys,
I don't know.
No, it's that big machine. Freeze dryer, a freeze dryer, because they just took a long trip. So yeah, that it's going to be amazing. All right. Take care, Lauren.
Bye.